You've literally built it from the ground up, the podcast, the business, telling people entrepreneurship and how to go about it.
Yeah.
Where did your creator journey begin though?
I filmed a little 1-minute video talking about how young people can be employable in South Africa. And that video went viral. You are in the business of perception management. Whenever your name and your business comes to mind, we must already know what we are referencing you with.
Sure.
Right? It's not that you're struggling to pick a niche. I think you're trying to get hold of everything and hope that one thing pops.
One thing pops.
And that's the problem.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Creator Conversations. It's your girl, Miss Rose, the influencer sister. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. I see the subscribers are coming through. So don't stop, because did you see, we are giving away still 1,000 Rand as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So don't give up. We've already given away our first prize, which was a tracksuit from Clothing. So love it. Today's episode is sponsored by Togo Hair and Beauty in Foslors. As you can see, Ngwanyana U together, Ngwanyana U the way. So we will link their information in the description. Don't forget to check them out. Today, my guest, pressure nyana ele. I have the one and only Michelle Lima. Hello, Michelle Expert. I literally have you saved like that in my phone.
Yeah.
The other day I had to change it. I'm like, okay, she's at least my friend now.
Yeah, you're like, please, excuse me, I need to change
Miss
it.
Michelle Expert.
Ooh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. We've been planning this for quite some
For
time.
so long.
I'm so excited.
For so long. And those that know, if you haven't seen me on Resonate, pause this video, go back, watch there, then come back. Thank you.
Fire. It was such an amazing episode.
Such an amazing.
I loved it.
Remember part 2 again.
Don't worry.
Yeah. And for those that aren't even part of the community, you won't know gore masterclass ko teng. But if you know, go check out Resonate now so that you can be part of the. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy to be here. I feel like we have been planning all of this, but everything just building up to today has been so intense. Like, I feel like the conversations and things that are happening in the background, how's things? So for those that don't know you, what short little intro, Nyana, those that have been living under rocks.
Yeah. Oh, sure. So I'm Michelle Expert. I'm the founder of Resonate Hub. We're a global sales and entrepreneurship hub.
Global.
Yeah, global. And we have a global community of entrepreneurs that we host masterclasses, which you also hosted a few weeks ago. And my core work is really centered helping people make money with their ideas. I think that's the big core of it.
Yeah.
And I have a background in the sales industry. And I think part of my realization was that a lot of entrepreneurs or digital creators don't have the necessary sales tools to sell themselves to the right clients who are going to pay them the money that they like or the money that they want to be paid.
Yeah.
And I've just dedicated my life's work to putting together workshops, training programs, content, podcasts, having conversations that equip people with those skills.
I love that so much. You've literally built it from the ground up, the podcast, the business, telling people entrepreneurship and how to go about it.
Yeah.
Where did your creator journey begin though?
My creator journey, it began so funny, by the way. So my creator journey began, I think it was in 2015, 2016. I've always been a yapper, so I love talking.
Yeah.
And growing up, I was that girl, ke rata bua, man.
Yeah.
And my parents
Ditaba
said,
dingata.
do you understand? And my
Yeah.
parents said, read books.
Yeah.
Because you like talking a lot, read books that you've got nice things to talk about and things that we're going to understand and we're going to engage you in.
Yes.
So I like talking, and I think I started enjoying talking about very important things. And one day after work, I got home and the budget speech had just been done, and the unemployment rate was like staggeringly high. I think it was almost going to like 39%. At the time. And I was just so aggravated by that. So I took my little Huawei phone at the time.
Yeah.
I was engaging quite a lot on Twitter and Twitter at the time. And then I filmed a little 1-minute video talking about how young people can be employable in South Africa. And that video went viral on Twitter. It created so much conversation.
Yeah.
And people were just like, oh my God, please do give us a part 2. I was like, sure. Next day, I gave a part 2. And then people said, actually, why don't you create this as long form? It can be YouTube. I was like, YouTube, what is that?
Yeah.
I can create YouTube videos. Okay, cool. And then
Yeah.
like I created my first YouTube video.
Hectic.
And it literally just moved from one YouTube video to like people saying, oh my God, we love this. Please, can you come speak at this space? Please, can you come to this radio interview? And over time, I realized that, okay, there's clearly something here.
Yeah.
How do we harness it? And how do we make it more impactful for people who are willing to listen? And at that time, my core was just like, I was really just trying to help a lot of young people in South Africa be more employable, but move beyond the frustration of not getting employed and waiting to get employed.
I think the hardest part is waiting.
Yes.
And a lot of people that engage with this podcast specifically, it's for people to kind of keep themselves busy in the waiting.
Yeah.
Because while you're waiting, that's when you start to get engaged with things that you're not supposed to be doing. You start thinking about how can you plani. People are planning how to do HEIST.
Yeah.
Like there's all these things where in the waiting, that's where people kind of get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a big one, right?
Yeah.
And that's where anxiety and depression also comes for a lot of people because
those quiet moments get too quiet.
Yes, it's like, what do you do? And sometimes maybe your peers are studying and you can't even study, or your peers are working and you did study but you can't find a job, you know? So my heart really has always been centered around how do I move somebody from point A to point B, but a productive point B. And it's changed. I think it's grown over the years into different iterations, but it's always been, how do we move you from you're not making money to actually making money with something that you love and making the amount of money that you love.
Right. With that said, actually, that was going to be my next question, that at which point, even in all of that, did you figure out, no, hold on, I can sell through content and I can actually teach people to sell through content?
It wasn't even a aha moment. I think I did several speaking engagements. I did several radio interviews. And then brands just started approaching me. And I was like, oh,
okay,
this is
something.
Wow. And, you know, and at the time you look at the amount of money that they're willing to pay you. And I was just like, oh, okay. So for me, I think like getting the first brand deal was like, okay, I think we can package this and actually make it a thing. And I mean, at the time, I started making money with like 3,000 followers on my platforms. I didn't even have a lot of followers, but my 3,000 was so engaged. We were building courses. We were building we were doing so much with like 3,700 followers at the time. So that was a big one. And I think I started getting into not only the fact that it can make money, because I think, you know, anything that makes money has to be valuable.
For sure.
But I think for me, the aha moment was the value in what I was giving.
Yes.
It was even beyond that I can make money. It was this thing, clearly there's value here.
There's value.
How do we start communicating this value more in a way to advertise this thing so we can build a business out of it and by virtue impact a lot more people?
Yeah. You said such an important thing is that, you know, we've been trying to educate everybody about the different types of creators that are there, from nano influencers to micro to this. And you've said an important thing, because I think a lot of people think that you just have to go viral and have 10K overnight. So she started off in there, but what was important that you even mentioned is the engagement. I remember telling you all multiple times, engagement rate is everything. Talk to your people, engage with your people, ask them what they want to hear from you, because the more you ask them what they want to hear from you is the more that you can actually provide it, which then increases your engagement even more.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing to engagement is serve.
Yep.
You know, I think sometimes we say, well, if I do this, they're going to respond like this. That's not how it should be.
No.
I think the biggest thing should be, how can I serve people so well that they interact with what I do? Because interaction is a response.
For sure.
They don't owe you engagement.
No, they don't.
Right? Engagement is a metric that tells us that people are enjoying. So now make them enjoy and make them really connect with what you're doing. And I think for me, that was also very top of mind, is how do I speak to the average person? So because there was, to this day, I always say to people, I respond to my DMs. I think I respond better to my DMs than my WhatsApp messages.
Then my WhatsApp messages. Same. I'm so and I used to be so good at WhatsApp, but like, wow.
Now, listen.
I can't even.
Call me if you need me. If there's an emergency.
Okay, Mina, don't call me. Text me.
No, if there's an emergency with me, call.
Yeah.
If you text me, I'm sorry.
It might
not happen. But I think being able to engage with your people and actually finding out what their pain point is. At the time, I was employed and I had a really good job, so I didn't know what it felt like. But I had to continuously be talking to the people who were responding to say, Michelle, this is what I'm struggling
because
with.
they're in that space.
Because they're in that space. I have a heart to serve in that space, but I have to get myself in there to be able to serve. So somebody would say, for instance, like I've been applying for jobs, or Michelle, I did try a few jobs, but I don't want to work for anything. I'm looking
Yeah.
for purpose. That was a
Yes.
big thing. And then we had a vision alignment course, like a 3-week course we
Oh, I
created.
love that.
But it came from people actually saying, I have a job. It's
Mara,
paying very
purpose,
little.
yeah.
So we then productize and build products based
Yes.
off the feedback that we're getting to serve people a lot more.
I love that.
Yeah.
How has your views on content creation though evolved over the years?
Ah, shucks. I think, in the beginning, I think it's grown obviously now with TikTok having come. I think TikTok has really changed the game.
It has.
Gary Vee wrote a book. I forget the name of the book, but he talks about the TikTokification of social media, where it's now created a new standard.
Right.
Where now you can be discovered by anybody everywhere. Whereas at the time you would only be discovered by your followers, and unless your followers share you with other people,
Yeah, that's it. That's your only audience.
yeah, that's literally your only hope. I think it's evolved in. I think it's evolved in maybe helping us be more global. I think that's been the best advantage, is that you can be
sure.
discovered anywhere in the
Anywhere,
world.
yeah.
The work that we do at Resonate gets discovered in the States, and we'll get clients overseas. And I think because of that,
Yeah.
because now we're not only limited to somebody resharing, but we're limited to the algorithm saying, oh, this is a conversation happening in Canada.
Yeah.
Let's put this
Let's
piece of
put this-
content there.
that
And I think
aligns.
in its evolution,
Yeah.
it's also now required us to learn and invest more into actually learning about the matrix
Yeah.
that will enable us to grow a lot
Yeah.
more. Things like keywords,
Yeah.
things like paying attention to what global trends are there, global news, so that if you're trying to build something global, you don't only limit your creation to what is happening in South Africa, but how do you
Yeah.
then speak to people on a global landscape?
I love that. I love that. You've said an important thing about us being a global community, I suppose, now. And
Yeah.
it speaks a lot to positioning and sort of finding your niche.
Yeah.
What advice, a lot of people are struggling to like lock down their niche and they
Yeah.
want to. And I've shared it on here before, so y'all thought I was stealing her. I told you she said it, that you said a very important thing where it was
Yeah.
the 70% and the 20%
Yes,
and the 10%.
yes,
I love
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
You must
Yeah.
say it, because you say,
Ah.
I love it so much. So, but like, because how do we then, advise people in terms
Yeah.
of like niching down
niche.
and positioning themselves, but still staying true to who they are and also
Yeah.
kind of relevant?
I don't think people struggle to find their niche. I think
Okay.
everybody knows what their niche is. I think we're just afraid it's not going to go viral because we want to go viral.
To go
Yeah.
viral. That's why we jump on other people's niches.
Exactly. Yeah. So you think, okay, I really love foodie, but because I see workouts are thriving, and I
let me
also
just-
like working
and I
out,
work out.
let me include working out. I
Yeah.
think that's the big problem. And that's why I think every time we do any work that we do at Resonators, you actually realize that for us to crack the code in whatever business you have to start, the central is you,
Yeah.
right? What are the gifts and the things that you have that you were given? And yes, a lot of us can have 10 talents, can
sure.
have 5 talents, but there's always the core that you know
Yes.
that this is your
That's
thing.
you.
Its interpretation can be different
Got you.
at different stages of your life, right? So I'll give you an example. I know, like I mentioned, I talk a lot. I'm a
Yeah.
speaker. I
Yeah.
enjoy speaking. I enjoy teaching, right? At the time, I used to teach on unemployment and how to be more employable.
Right.
I then moved to starting a deco company, and I used to like talking about how to start businesses in the events industry, right? But the core of who I am has always been the same.
Yes.
Now I just teach on sales and entrepreneurship.
sure.
It's iterations. It's grown and evolved into different iterations over
Yeah.
the years.
Yes.
But it's always been
always
the same
been the
thing.
same.
So I think
Okay.
that's what people need to realize, that it's not that you're struggling to pick a niche. I think you're trying to get hold of everything and hope that one thing pops.
One thing pops.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
So what I always recommend to people is just do what you, I mean, people now have niches on like is it ASMR, where you don't see people's faces
yeah,
and
it's
there's just clicking
sounds and
sounds.
clickings and
That should tell you that like in this day and age, nothing is too boring or
absolutely everything. You've
like-
seen people cutting soaps
Yes.
and cutting candles, and people sit
Literally.
hours watching that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me is pick a thing, make a decision.
Yeah.
Like make a decision, pick the thing, and then go all in
Yeah.
on the thing.
Yeah.
The mistake is sometimes we pick the thing and then we don't go all in. And
Yeah.
then now we wonder, like, why is
Why
it
is
not
it not
working?
popping?
You didn't go all in on the thing.
Got you.
So I think for me, that's really, you have to actually go in. I remember when I started Resonates, the big thing I used to ask myself is like, who's going to listen to an entrepreneurship podcast?
Yeah.
I thought to myself, there is, you know,
Multiple. And like, what is it that I'm going to say?
Do you know-
Surely after 2 episodes, I would have run out of things to say.
exactly. I
Yeah.
thought to myself, it's going to be boring. And I remember when I sat down with the team and I said, I'm okay with us going through 2 years of having very little views.
Got you.
Because I understand that my niche is so picked.
So particular.
It's so particular, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to stick it through. And God
Yeah.
shocked us.
And then he did the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like God just literally shocked us. So I think pick a niche and just go all in.
Yeah.
Don't be halfway in to see if it's no, go all in.
Just go all the way
Yeah.
in.
Get married to it.
Get married to it. It's so
Yeah.
deep. That is so deep because then as soon as you make a decision like getting married to it,
Yes.
you will literally feel like you are cheating on yourself if you do anything other than
Exactly.
that. So you will literally feel it and it will drain you more than it should pour into you I love that
Yeah.
reference
And
of
every
get married
single
to it.
morning you'll wake up thinking about it.
For
You wake
sure.
up thinking how you're going to talk about it, how you're going to share about it. What are you saying
How
to
you
these
going to grow
followers?
it, how you going to develop
Exactly.
it.
You get so obsessed with it
Yeah.
that it becomes the only thing you do and think about. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 2 years is a long time.
Nah.
You're bound to pop to the right audience that has your money.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing that you said as well is that it's important to note that your audience doesn't have to be millions of people.
Yes.
Like, I think that's where people get lost. It's like, my 200 people. No. Even us, even though we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
we know that the current subscribers,
Yeah.
they've been with us.
Exactly.
They've been noting down, asking, when's the next one?
Yeah.
When are you here? When are
Yeah.
you there? So already you know that there's no need for us to just pause and wait for the 1,000 people to
Yeah.
come because then we must work.
Totally. I think we need to be obsessed with impact more than we are with
Thank
being
you.
with fame.
Thank you.
You know, I think that's the big thing is when you think of fame and you just want to be known, your matrix are going to be very different.
For sure.
Versus when you want impact. And impact is realizing that if I put a video out and 100 people watch, and out of those 100 people, 20 people comment,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of people that took their time out to literally let you know what they thought of a piece of content that they have already consumed.
For sure.
You know, that is so much. And I think we usually look at others and we compare ourselves based on the matrix that other people are getting, etc. When you don't factor in so many things, like how long they've been in the game,
Yeah.
the kind of niche that they have. There are some niches that are easier to pop versus others.
Yeah.
And you must be okay with that when you build anything. So yeah, I think be obsessed with being impactful more than you are being famous. Even brands can pick up on you impactful versus
For
famous.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Is it possible for a multi-purposed creator to be successful without confusing their audience? For example, you know, with these multiple niches,
Yeah.
is it possible for them to be successful?
I think it is. It has to be done strategically, whether intentionally or
Strategy.
whether intentionally or unintentionally.
Yeah.
I think it really is.
Yeah.
So here's what you have to think of, right? And I use this word very often whenever we talk about people being multi-talented or multi-passionate, is that you are in the business of perception management. Whenever your name and your business comes to mind, we must already know what we are referencing you with,
sure.
right? We must be like, oh, that one, the one with the
Yes,
soaps. Do you know,
yes.
the one with the. So
Yeah.
if every time we do this, but we can't pinpoint exactly what you do, you've lost the money, you've lost the
us.
deal,
Yeah.
right? Because now we just like, when's Angana?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what we're gonna
Next.
do? We're gonna pick the first person that reminds us of you.
Exactly.
And it's not gonna be you.
Even if you are that good.
Correct.
Even if you're
We're just
that
gonna
good.
take somebody who reminds us of
Literally.
you. Yeah.
So it's perception management. That's why when we do like introduction videos or people will have a name for something, you must always be consistent with those things because you're trying to say that every time when you do this, that
Yeah.
word must pop up.
Yeah.
Not 3 sentences,
No.
not this,
Yeah.
that word must pop
Yes.
up. You know, I always say, I use this reference actually when I was doing a talk at Rosebank College last week. And I said, if you think of every time I say, for instance, chicken, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah. Fried.
Right? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Are they the only people?
No.
There's so many of them.
Yes.
But they also do burgers. They do wraps. They sell Coke.
Yeah.
They sell Sprite.
Yeah.
They do ice cream.
It was only last year I convinced my mother to buy a burger. at the fried chicken place.
Literally.
Because she was like, is it like this? I said,
Yeah.
it's just try
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But their messaging has always been
Always been
chicken.
Yeah.
But it does not mean that they don't
all
sell
that they
other
do.
things.
Yeah.
But our problem is that we want to tell everybody, hi, I'm a chicken burger, wrap, Sprite,
Oh, my
ice
word.
cream,
Coke.
person, Coke.
Yeah.
This is all that I have.
Yeah.
No, just because
Yeah.
we know you for one thing, it does
Yeah.
not mean that we are excluding you of the
For
others.
sure.
We are just saying that from a perception management perspective,
Mm.
this is the thing that every time we say, you come to
come to
mind.
mind.
So that's what people have to realize, that there is obviously an internal strategy, and then we have to then build almost like a perception management strategy over the internal strategy that is happening. So with everything that we're doing internally, what are people seeing? And based on what they're seeing, what is the perception that we are building in the market?
Got you.
That perception is essentially what then becomes your brand.
Yes.
Because then that's what people know you for. That's what becomes top of mind. If we
Yeah.
say somebody's name, you're like, oh, the actor. Oh,
Yes.
Shaka Ilembe. Oh,
For sure.
this, right?
Yeah.
Because those are the things that are coming top of mind. So the question must be, what are you building as your perception management? What do
love
you
that.
want to be top of mind? So for me, sales is always that. I'll put it on my bio, I'll put it on my
Yes.
profile. It's the thing.
Yeah, because when I think entrepreneurship, I think sales.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
But it does not, we get into corporates.
For sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah.
does not mean that now we must tell you this entire
Everything.
portfolio so you
Yes.
know everything about
Yeah.
us. You should only know the core. And people that have your money know that if you specialize in this, you surely will.
There's other things in
You
there.
surely will do a lot.
Surely there's other things
Yeah,
in
so
there.
clients or brands will come and say, we want to do this thing, and we just want to know, are
Can
you
you do
able
it?
to
You're
do it?
like,
Can you
yeah,
do
actually.
it? You're like, I
Yeah.
actually can.
Actually, here's a catalog. This is what this is all the things that I do.
Exactly. But because
Yeah.
they have trusted you to stand on one thing.
Yeah.
Another example that I do, so it's such a mind like mind screwing example. If you have a specific car, right?
Yes.
And you've got the option to go to somebody who fixes those specific cars only. So for a Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
you've got a Mercedes-Benz dealer who says, listen, I only fix Mercedes-Benz
only deal
cars.
with them.
That's what I
Bam.
do. I'm a specialist and this is what I do, right?
Right.
And then you go to anybody who can say, listen, I can do whatever and
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
If, for instance, your car's like very expensive and you just bought it, it's like this whole thing.
Yes.
Where would you take it?
To Mercedes-Benz.
To the specialist.
Yes.
Because you're thinking, what if that other one uses the wrong parts?
Toyota party ka mogare ga Mercedes, go fedile ka
Do you
nna.
understand?
Yeah.
So
No offense.
Yeah, absolutely no offense. But you have to realize that you are more trusted
Yes.
when you stand for one thing
Right.
than you are when you stand for more.
For more.
From a perception management
Yeah.
perspective.
Also, because what that does is that if you show me too much, I might feel like you won't be able to focus on exactly what I need.
Yeah, you also give me decision fatigue.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to be like, what if she can't, because she's so focused on every single
Yeah.
thing and I just needed to do maybe this one thing.
Yes.
Will she be able to just do this one thing, or is she going to spread herself way too thin?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even when you work with any supplier, you don't want a supplier that's able to do anything.
No.
Imagine someone comes and they say, I paint, I do plumbing, I do lighting, I can operate a camera.
Oh yeah,
I
a painter that can do plumbing is very suspicious.
Exactly.
Hey,
then
and
they
a plumber that can build a house
You know,
is suspicious.
I'm also a carpenter. And if you want, I can also fix your car. Would you let that person fix your car?
No way, my plumber can say to me, I've fixed the car before. No, you haven't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear you.
Perception management.
Yeah.
Even if you can, because you're maybe multi-talented.
Yeah.
But for the sake of our minds and how we want to perceive you based
Yes.
on the psychology behind decision making, it's not healthy for us to know all of that.
You say that though, and the other day we were having another conversation we were at an youth employment expo. And we were talking about CVs.
Yeah.
And they were wondering, because we were saying to them, CVs are 8 pages. I'm not going through 8 pages of a CV.
Yeah.
I'm really not. So you need to find a way to kind of bring yourself in and focus and tell me what you specialize in so that I can know that I can trust you with that. Because I'm going to go through 6 pages before you actually tell me that you can actually be a creative
Towards
director.
the end.
Exactly. And I'm not going to reach there.
Yeah.
So by then I'm going to think you specialize in all these other things before you are there.
Yeah.
With perception management, because you've put it so well, what are the signals that creators can look out for that their content is or is not resonating with their audience?
I think consistency in terms of
Itseng, Hulun.
engagement.
Itseng. I told you consistency.
I think consistency is very important.
Yeah.
And it's not to say so here's the thing, right? I always say to people, especially if you're a creator, you group yourself into these two groups, right? The first group is you're trying to figure it out. So your matrix, they are very different than how we would judge somebody who's potentially at the highest level and they've now figured it out, so they're building a business out of it. When you're still trying out, you can try one niche consistently for 3 years and you feel like, you know what, I've evolved, I want to do something different. You're more than welcome to do that. Just understand that the matrix for you will be different, and potentially the work relationships and the amount of followers. You're going through a lot of building phases,
yes.
and be okay with that, right? And then let's get to people who have already figured themselves out. I think for that point is consistency. So I always say to people, everything that happens digitally or in our businesses always mimics life.
For sure.
Right? I love using the example of getting married to it and building relationships, is you have to ask yourself, imagine if you met a guy today and he wowed you on the first time and he told you about all of these things he can do for you, for
the
us,
moon and the
for the
stars,
world, the moon
rain.
and everything, right? And he does it for like a few days, and after that, he just keeps disappearing.
Yeah.
He's not calling. He's not even saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know, like,
Is he still around?
is he still around?
Yeah.
And then he'll call you, and before you answer, he'll hang up, and then like leave you this message, and then like
It's all vague.
2 days later, he just shows you a picture of himself having coffee. You're like, sorry, wait, what is going on here?
Yeah. Am I in a twilight zone?
Yeah, and then like a month later, he says, you know what? I think I've got a plan for our future, and I want you to go in this journey with me. Would you ever want that guy around you?
No.
Right?
I wouldn't.
But that's how we treat our followers. That's how we treat our followers.
Guys, let me just take this moment to apologize to y'all on taking y'all on a roller coaster. Because one thing about me, my team will always be like, you are going to be the end of us. Because I hear you. That makes so much sense. Because you come and you go and you're on YouTube today. Tomorrow you're not on YouTube. And it's like, hi guys, welcome back to our channel. What? Welcome back, Ganjani.
It's like, what? We even, forgot. And I think for me, I use this analogy in my business all the time, because you are in a relationship with your audience. So you must treat it as such. If I can't show up today, I must call and say, Rose, I'm so sorry. This is what's going on. Unfortunately, can't make it. Can we try next week? Rose, how are you doing? What's happening? Oh my gosh, let's catch up, because that's a relationship. We are relating.
For sure.
But what we do is that we treat our followers like, they're just watching because they love what we do.
And they'll be there anyway.
And
take
then,
advantage.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we wonder, like, why is no one engaging on my content? Why is this? So you have to think about it like a relationship. And I think that's why consistency is now the key, because consistency in any relationship is so big. Do you know what I'm saying? We eventually get to being married because you've been consistent enough with the things that are important to me. So you always have to look at that for your audience, which is, are you being consistent? Don't show us you're having coffee. So what? Do you know what I mean? Like, great, that's a good looking cup of coffee.
Sharp.
What's the point here? So it's always, I actually filmed a video that I posted on my Instagram a few weeks ago. And I said, you must be obsessed with becoming the chief movement officer of your platform. Is every content piece you put out, what is it moving people to? Is it moving people to inspiration, to education, to impact, to ease,
value, something.
Don't just show, like, if you're saying, oh, look at me, my husband, we're so cute, we love each other, mwah, mwah, mwah.
Okay, and
where are you moving us to? Do you know what I mean?
Think at this.
What must we do with that piece of content? So I think when you become more intentional with this relationship you have, the other people on the other side feel it. And when they feel it, they respond. You know what I mean? Like if I don't post on my Instagram for a day, my DMs are like, Michelle, are you okay?
Nah.
Like, babes, what's happening? We've got this get up video that I put out on if I don't post it, my followers will fetch me and say, Madam,
hello, get up.
Hello.
Like,
we're waiting for you to wake us up. Ma'am. But I think it's the relationship. It can't just be you're the star and like, they just get to watch.
People really want to be stars.
Yeah, I think the digital economy has moved us away from the Hannah Montana age.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Where like you were the star on the stage and that was
Yeah.
it. I mean, we
Yeah.
see a lot of, and we even spoke about this, like you see people like your DJ Zintle and how she's leveraging on influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Love that so much. It's
Yeah.
you're realizing that there can be a duality between you being a star
For sure.
and you actually connecting with the
Yeah,
people
and
that
still
buy
being on the ground.
the products that you sell
sure.
or the message that you put across. So
For
yeah.
sure. I love that it transitions us beautifully into sales for creators.
Yes.
So, what are the biggest mistakes that
Yeah.
creators make when they're trying to sell with their content?
Oh, I think the first thing is not knowing who your customer actually is. You know, I think, you know, when I mentioned like the two different levels
The
of
categories,
creators,
yes.
right? I would even say for both of those two, their customers are different. And when you're starting off, your customers are actually your audience,
Yes.
right? Those are the people you want them to buy into. So when we talk about sales, usually, yes, it is from a revenue perspective, but at different levels in your business, it can be relationships.
Right.
It can easily be followers.
For sure.
It can be that commitment and the engagement that you
Yes.
want. So I think you have to actually realize who your customer is. That's the first thing. Otherwise, you're not going to know how to speak to them.
For sure.
Right.
And you're not going to know either what products to develop, where you're
Yes.
going,
Yeah.
if you even need to continue with what you're doing.
Absolutely. So you have 2,000 followers that love all the things you talk about, but when you want to post about the soap all the time
Yeah.
because you want to attract the brand. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine, but focus on these people first. So know who your customer is.
Yeah.
And at different levels, you will have different customers. And sometimes there is a duality in having your customers. And then start speaking to your customer. I would even go as far as to say every time you know who your customer is, you must build 3 archetypes for your customer. So this is almost like a persona of that same customer in 3 different ways. So you could say, okay, cool. At Resonate Hub, we have Sarah. Sarah is our customer. She's potentially, she's got a great position in the corporate sector. She wants to leave and venture into her own thing that she's been doing part-time, etc. And then you build a John. And then you say, John is actually a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He's doing okay, but he wants to scale. And this is where he is. And then you say, then Rose is our third one. Rose is potentially fed up with the business she used to run and she wants to transition into something new and she wants to sell more. She wants to make money.
Yeah.
So you almost build 3 different personas that will seek the solution that you have.
Okay.
You know, and once you build those things, you then say, okay, what kind of content would speak to this person?
Right.
And then you create that.
Then you create that.
Literally it. But I think what a lot of people do is that we just create because
Yeah.
we think this is going to go viral. People are going to like this, or this is what's trending right now. You will beat the trends if you speak to the right person
Right.
all the time. But if you get granular on who is that right person, like what are their needs? What do they care about? So when I say we build archetypes, we even go to being so granular. Like if I'm if I'm passionate about skincare, and this is what I want to talk about, skincare, health, confidence, the girl that's really like into my content, what is she like?
Yes.
You know, she probably doesn't take a lot of pictures because she's
Yeah,
struggling with
'cause
her
she's
skin.
struggling with her skin.
Right?
Yeah.
She probably researches products.
Yes.
So maybe let me start doing more educational content to speak
Yes.
to her. Let me start saying, okay, this is the journey let me show her my
Right.
journey. Let me actually speak to her directly versus trying to attract the brand in hopes that she's spoken to. Right?
Yeah.
Because then I'm now trying to reach these 2 people, but in such a weird way.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just focus on speaking to her until she vouches for me, shares about my work,
For sure.
is for me, and then I can say, oh, actually, Sarah, because you liked this, what do you think of this soap?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I love that because then it speaks to even while you're trying to sell or while you're trying to entertain,
Yeah.
there's a difference between content that educates
Yeah.
and content that sells.
Yes.
And often people don't know the difference between
Yeah.
those two. Would you say so?
Absolutely. I definitely say so. And I think, look, content that educates can also sell, right?
Yes.
But I think selling has to be intentional from an
Intentional.
internal
Got you.
perspective, right?
Okay.
But not from, we're not saying, now that you like my content, I'm going to sell you this. You know, there's
Yeah.
ways to do that
Because
without.
once people like, it's like, while you're here, since you've liked, I'm selling this for $3.99.
Yeah, you know, so there's a way to do that. But
Yeah.
I think the importance is you have to be intentional, right? If you say, I just want to educate.
Yeah.
Like I always say, and you know, we get into like the 70-20 10 analogy
Yes.
that I say so much is
Yeah.
it's so important that you figure out, okay, if I'm communicating with these people 7 days a week,
Yeah.
right? Out of those 7 days a week, maybe for 3 days a week, I'm going to create educational content. 2 days a week, I'm going to sell. And then the other 2 days, I'm going to entertain.
Got
So
you.
you almost have to split it up because remember, it's perception
Yes,
management that we're doing.
yeah.
We are interacting with human beings who have
Real
patterns.
people.
These people have patterns. They can pick up certain things. So you also have to be very tactical in the way that you communicate.
Audiences are also very intuitive now.
Absolutely.
Like I think the level of audience has really evolved over the years where you just used to just throw things at them. But now you have to be very intentional.
Absolute. Oh, I'm reading a book by Daniel Pink. It's called Everything is Sales. And one of the things that book talks about is that, in the olden day, for you to buy a car, you would have to depend on like the person at the dealership to take you through the car and sell it. And but because of how the digital landscape has grown, now you go to dealership already knowing about the car. So no one can lie to you and say, this thing does this or this is no. You already know. And I think we live in an age now where consumers are well educated.
For sure.
So you can't fool them anymore.
For
They can
sure.
see when you're being fake. They can see when you're just creating. And I think what is important is when you do it with the right intention, you actually are able to connect with somebody because they can see that, oh, okay, I already know this, but I didn't know it like that.
I didn't know it like that.
Actually, I didn't know it to that extent. So I think that I don't know what it's called. It's that barrier of information has almost been decreased. People know more now.
Yeah.
People know a lot more. I mean, I sit in consults with business owners, and I promise you, 50% of the things I'm telling them to do, they already know.
Yeah.
They really already
They
know.
really already know
because there
them.
is information out there. People are doing research, etc., etc. So it becomes very important to have that awareness that these are not people just sitting and waiting for you to educate them. They are listening to other creators and they're doing their research.
Yeah. How does, with all of that, because I feel like the content strategy, the framework that you follow would be the 70-20-10 and a lot of others that you've mentioned. How do people using that strategy or rather following a certain strategy turn casual followers into people that can actually engage and actually buy from you?
I love that question. I love that question so much.
Rebatulity question.
I love that question so much. Okay, so here's how I would advise somebody to do that, right? You have to move the relationship to the next level, right? Relationship, that very important keyword that I want everybody to keep to mind, right?
Stick with.
If you're constantly, and I'll go back to a natural example, right? If we're constantly meeting at restaurants, there's obviously certain things within this relationship that cannot happen. Like I can't introduce you to my family because I don't know where you live. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's currently surface level. At restaurants, there's certain things we can talk about. I can't cry about my trauma.
Of course.
At a restaurant.
At a
you know
restaurant,
We can't really connect in a deeper way. But maybe you invite me for dinner, or now maybe you invite me to come meet your sister or meet your mom, and the relationship's going to the next level. And the next level obviously always unlocks a new level of vulnerability.
Right.
And of just certain things we can connect even more deeper now, because maybe you might find out that, yes, maybe I've got a relative, but I don't get along with them, or they're not in my life. I unfortunately can't, but we can't talk about that during dinner when I look all glitz and glam.
And we're in a restaurant.
All the time,
For
right?
sure.
So how I would say people must do that is you have to take the relationship to the next level. The next level is we must move it from dinner nights all the time. We must move it from being on social media only. Right? This is where I then say now I'm screaming about this from the top of my lungs to business owners that community is the current currency, right? You now have to move people from just following and commenting to some form of commitment and community.
Yes.
People are doing this with broadcast channels. People are doing this with email lists. If you want to start putting together an email list, people are doing this now with WhatsApp channels, WhatsApp groups, whatever, community, whatever it is. But take the relationship to the next level. Give some, just a level of commitment more. You know what I'm saying? And we're not saying they must, but you can even make the community free if you want.
Got you.
But just take them to the next level that says, oh, okay, now let's
It's
meet
a little
each
bit more
other.
intimate.
It's more intimate because the more intimate we get, the more we're walking our way towards getting married. Yeah.
I really, really love that. And I think that a lot of people don't really focus on taking it to the next level. They just keep feeding and expect those people to be smart enough.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it goes back to the engagement, right? Because you need to listen to your audience. If people are like, oh, we've never really seen you in another setting other than just in your house recording. Do you actually speak? Do you actually do? How are those? And what would you say then in term, because then this speaks to, you know, maybe now you can start hosting events and hosting speaking engagements. How has that really impacted your brand in terms of the events and the thought leadership and all of that?
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I think part of, you know, when you take the relationship to the next level, you get to know people even more deeper, right? And I'm continuously using this example because I think sometimes, and I've picked this up a lot, especially within the creator and social media economy, sometimes when we use these business terms, people just don't get what we're saying, and everything just like passes by. So for me, real life analogies usually work a lot more easier. So when you take the relationship to the next level, you also get to know the other person a bit more, right? You get to know, okay, what do they like? What more? So now you're in a close community and they're like, oh my God, we really love it here. Can you do a workshop for us? Can you do a masterclass for us? Like we really want to do, and you're like, great, let's do it. So it's always based off, yes, you can have your own ideas and say, guys, this is what I want to do. Would you guys come? Or I want you guys to come to this place, and they will definitely come. So I think you have to take the relationship to the next level. But how that for me has changed my brand, it's done that in ways I can never even imagine. Right? Because what it does is not only does it help you build your business, but it helps you now build in-person relationships with people. You know, we had the Resonate Summit in March this year, a big successful event. It over 100 people come, entrepreneurs. And the funniest thing was like my followers coming to me saying, hi, Michelle, it's so nice to meet you. And I call out their name. They say, how do you know me? I'm like, girl, I know you.
I know you.
I know your profile picture.
I know you.
We talk, you know what I'm saying? And I think part of that is so intimate because I can tell you to this day, most of those people that I know and I interact with will buy every product I put out there, will come to anything that I do because we are a community now. They don't owe me anything, and I appreciate everything that they do. But the relationship we have has gone beyond just transactional.
For sure.
It's gone to, I love hearing Michelle speak. So because she's got a workshop, I'm going to bring my little sister. I'm going to bring my cousin who wants to start a business.
Who wants to start a business.
Because what have we done now? We've taken the relationship to the next level. So now when there's a braai, I'm saying, Rose, Tisha, Steph, let's go. You know? I'm saying, guys, let's go. I want you guys to meet this person because, you know, they're so good. They've been so impactful to me. I like them.
I love that.
And then I'm now bringing in a community.
I really love that.
That's the core of it. Beyond the revenue, you start coming across as a thought leader more than anything. You will start getting booked more. I think it's also a good way if you want to be booked for speaking engagements and you're not, start by hosting your own speaking engagements.
Definitely start by
even
hosting.
if they're at a smaller scale, but start being seen speaking on stages.
Yes.
Give us proof of concept that you can hold a stage together
Proof of concept is everything.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I think time is just flying and it's making me so mad, but I'm okay because part 2 and 3 and our relationship is already to the next level, by the way. Since I already hosted a masterclass, and now that hosted,
I understand
the academy is launching.
No, we are next level.
No, not right.
Level,
I love that, and I think it's the perfect way to kind of wind it down to make sure that everybody, you know, take the relationship to the next level, engage with your people, don't be confused because then if you're not confused, you won't confuse your audience. And they will follow you wherever you go. I love that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We are kind of done. I've got a little bit of a quick fire that can help us so we can just start to wind down before the alarm clock goes off.
Yes.
Okay. Niche or no niche?
Niche. I'm a niche girl.
You're a niche girl, man? Instagram or LinkedIn?
Ooh-wee. Oh, man.
Quick fire, man. The chair is gonna explode.
Yo. Okay, I'll say Instagram because I'm loving it. I'll say Instagram because I think it's starting to be a bit more fun.
Okay.
Again. And
it's a little bit more relaxed now.
Yeah, it's starting to be. I think TikTok is putting a bit of pressure on. It's a little more relaxed. And also, they called me last week from the head office.
Like, hello?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
did you tell them I'm your friend?
Yes. I was like, can you also call Rose?
Okay, got you. That's fine. So we're waiting for that call.
Yeah, so, you know, but Instagram, I think they've got a lot of amazing things coming up. And there's a lot of, and I think brands also like Instagram.
Yeah.
But also LinkedIn. That's why I'm like, but I'll say Instagram.
Okay, Instagram. Launch first or perfect first.
Launch first.
Really?
Launch first. Give it to us as it
as
is.
raw as it is.
Give it to us as it is.
And in fact, I was about to say,
and then you do it better.
I was about to say, because I feel like even if we go to like all these top YouTubers, if you go to the very first video, you're like, shoo, how blurry,
Like, what
how wild, the camera is doing this.
What's happening?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but here we are
Yes.
when they're 3 million
Yeah.
in. So, okay, got you. Brand deals or build your own brand?
Build your own brand. Although both are great,
Yeah.
but I think let the end goal in mind be to build your own brand.
To build your own brand. And so because you're working with the end goal in mind, you start there and come this way. Because
Absolutely.
you want the brands to latch onto your brand.
Yes.
Okay. And
Absolutely.
because if you start with branding first, then they make you part of their brand.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then you're signing 3 months contracts and a year
Before
has
you
like
know it,
4 quarters.
I've been trying to remind everybody that a 3-month contract is actually a 6-month contract.
Yes.
Because then there's a cool off period.
Absolutely.
That comes with a cool off period. So,
but if that's the only income you're expecting in your life, you are a bit screwed.
You're finished.
Yeah.
You're done for. Okay. Content calendar or wing it?
Content calendar.
Okay.
Content calendar with a mix of winging.
With a mix of winging.
Yeah.
Because winging brings a little bit of authenticity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think remember perception management?
Right.
Have the basics.
Yeah.
Have the basics outlined.
Also, because I always tell people that even while you are winging it, you are able to authentically curate moments.
Absolutely.
So don't just think, if you don't have a content calendar and it's Tuesday, you don't have a post, you can think, okay, today would have been a Tuesday, choose whatever, and then you can add it in there.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, one tool that you can't run your business without.
One tool that I can't. My bank account.
Girl, when I say I hear that, I hear that.
My bank account.
Nah,
Yeah.
That's the biggest tool, the banking app.
The banking app.
Last thing you Googled related to your business.
Last thing I Googled relating to my business. I Googled system integrations.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's showing me flames.
Flames are being seen.
Yeah, it's showing me flames. I think because a lot of systems that we use are not from South Africa. There's a lot of integrating that we have to do for this system to talk to this system, to talk to this system. And then for them to come together. But now they're coming together on 3 different platforms, but now they still have to talk to each other.
Who must
and you
work
must
on
pay
all of
for each
this?
and every one of them.
It's actually quite crazy. So as the creator arc, as everybody knows, we are actually in the business of creating tools. So
I'm coming.
got the tools. Because we're also tired. We're like, why are we kind of like one of the top people in the country, but then we're also paying for the stuff that is abroad?
Yeah.
We need to figure that out. Okay. What's harder, sales or consistency?
Sales or consistency? I think they go together. But I would say consistency can be harder.
Yeah.
Consistency can be harder. I think consistency over a period of time can easily start feeling very mundane. And because it feels like that, you can feel like, oh, maybe I need to spice it up. Or, oh, no, maybe I'm tired. Or maybe I need to change it up or whatever the case, especially if you're doing it for the long game. So consistency can be harder.
Harder, ne?
Yeah.
What is the most overused marketing phrase right now?
Authenticity.
But that's my phrase. Authenticity is key. Yeah, I think I always drive authenticity because I'm so tired of seeing creators that are duplicating each other.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm just like, you can still be in the space, but still be authentically you.
Yeah, I think we don't understand what authenticity is. And I think for anybody that gets confused, there's a book, I forgot the author, but it's called Everything is Marketing. And that book really talks about what true authenticity is not like revealing your trauma and your childhood things and saying, this is what I am and this is just how I am. No. You can still be cultured and learned and do a lot of perception management and build a brand that is aligned with who you truly are, with being authentic, but without, doing certain things. Yeah. So it's very misused word.
Ne? What is the most cringe advice you've seen online?
The most cringe advice. This is gonna get me in trouble, Rose.
You don't
And I'm a
have
nice person.
No, re tla go etsa anonymous. This part of the episode will anonymously clip it
Anonymous
out.
Milintole my face. Oh my god. I want to pick. I want to pick a good one.
Okay.
Um. Oh no.
It's not coming.
Oh man. Oh shucks. Cringe advice.
Because there's a lot of things. Don't say about the authenticity. Well,
What do
just
you
tell
want-
us your trauma. Tell us your.
Do you understand?
Yeah, that
I
stuff can be
don't.
quite tricky.
So I say like, okay, maybe this is like an easy one.
Okay.
It's like, you know, when people say like, just start. That's cringy.
Yeah.
Like give me 3 steps to study.
To start.
You know what I'm saying?
Starting.
Like, yeah, like I get it,
Yeah.
but like what is, so yeah,
Nah,
just
I
start.
get it. Yeah. Okay. Last one. Your go-to sales phrase.
My go-to sales phrase.
Hmm.
Ooh. My go-to sales phrase is the right person has your money.
Oh, I actually really, really like that. And I think that can go across the board from entrepreneurs to creators.
Yeah.
Kamoka, ne?
The right person has your money, the right business, they have your money.
Yeah.
Your money,
Yeah.
without discounts,
Without negotiation.
your money.
Bateng.
Yes, the right person has
I
your
love
money.
that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
That's
me.
the end of this. I'm so
Yeah.
sad, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got a chance to do this. Thank
Me
you
too.
for
I can't wait to
everything.
do it again.
I hope that all the creators absorbed a lot, not even a little bit, a lot from you.
Yeah.
And we're going to take all the questions. If you have any questions for Michelle, link to Resonate Hub is in the description. DM us. We read DMs now. She told us we
Yeah.
must read DMs.
Please.
Yeah. So let us know. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. You're doing amazing things. We love to see all the work you're doing. We are growing. We are inspired, and we will keep at it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. That was Creator Conversations for this week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ask us any questions. Watch us and follow us. We've got a lot of things going. As you guys have seen, I am just the influencer sister, but influencer sister has grown and has taken off as the creator's arc. Follow us so that you can keep up with all the moves that we're making. Bye.